Hey, good day to all of you. My name is Blair and welcome to another OS operating system. Today we're gonna take a look into Ubuntu Studio 25.04. Let me see if this is gonna be an LTS or not. Let's head to the website first. I'll be using my Brave browser for this one. The website is ubuntustudio.org. And let me see, so the version 25.04, it is not the LTS, which means it is just only supported until January 2026. So let's download this one and put it in our download. So let me see, this is the direct, so I'll be using direct download and put it in our download folder. So as you can see, I have this one, so let me download this one. Let's click the save and let's wait for it to reach 100% and let's head to our boxes. So the minimum requirements for this Ubuntu Studio is about like 2-core Duo with 4 gigabytes of random access memory, and the storage space is about like 32. But it is recommended like you have the i5 equivalent or better, and it requires sometimes above like 16 gigabytes of random access memory plus the 64 gigabytes of storage space for your work, for the video and audio. And this is running in KDE Plasma, so this is gonna be designed for the creative content creators. This is gonna be a content creation studio for your video and editing, including your Photoshops. Well, we have our Photoshop equivalent here too. We have our video editing software and some pictures enhancement and some blogs, so it will be absolutely for free. No worries, it will be very effective. As I said, I was also using this for my editing and for audio, video, graphics, photography, and desktop publishing. This is all I have. I'm using the KDE, but I shifted to the Big Linux for this, for my platform right now, but I have also the Ubuntu Studio on my other laptop. So anyway, let's get into this and let's see if what we have in store for you, the version 25.04, and it is not an LTS. So let's go to the boxes. I'll be using the boxes for the live boot and installation. I'll be using the boxes, the GNOME boxes, for this installation and live boot. So let me install the ISO file. It is Ubuntu Studio 25.04. Okay, let's open. I'll be putting about like 8 gigabytes for this, and I'll put about 50 for the storage space, and let's create this one. And full screen. So let's try to live boot this Ubuntu Studio 25.04. Okay, this is the live boot, and this is probably one of our installation, pre-installation that is. So we will try to drag this one into center so that it will not so confused. With this one, we have the language, choose your language. I'll be using English for this one. We have the keyboard layout, English at the same time. I'll be using the wired because this is the virtual boxes, and I'll be installing this one as a installation. So this is still in our live boot, but we could like install it directly. Okay, let's click that one, and there is an interactive or the auto files. So we have the minimize or the full installation. I'll be using the full installation. We don't have the alongside. Supposed to be the alongside will be on the bottom right here, but we don't have any Windows or any other operating system, so we'll just gonna install it like a full installation. Okay, so I'll not be checking this one. I'll just gonna make this as soon as possible and make it fast. We also have this one, erase the disk, install the Ubuntu Studio. There is a manual right here, and of course there is also supposed to be alongside right here. So let's click next. No inscription needed. This is just a test, and it is not like very highly active security-ish thing. So this is just gonna be a standard operating system that I wanted to. There is also an account. I'll be using my RialbbeTV as my brand, and the password I'll be using 4-digit only. So I will not make it like complicated. And it requires my password when I log in. That is supposed to be in any computer because it will prevent you from installing or log in a suspicious person. Okay, so that is why it is secure. And let's proceed next. If you are not in this map that is accessing your time zone, for example, I'm in Iloilo, so I could like also locate my hometown, for example. Let me see, there it is, Iloilo City, Philippines. I'll be using that location as my location time zone and click next. And there is a summary review right here, so this is all okay. I'll be okay with the format that will be extend4, so I'll install that one, and let's wait to reach 100%. So I have some trouble installing the installation process, but I have to like do it again. So let me delete this one and again install the ISO file. So let me see again. I'll put the memory about like the 8 gigabytes for the memory space, which is our random access memory, plus our storage space will be 50. And then I'll just click that one, and instead of installing, I'm just gonna try it. I'm having a hard time actually to install it in the virtual machine. I think they have really a problem with this for the past few years already. Even like the updating of their software, they have issues, and you're in the graphics and you could not like fully install the update, but you need to go to the CLI, which is the command line, the terminal actually, to update your system. So this is the problem of Ubuntu, and there's a lot more. I could not even like remember all those stuff. That's why I prefer the big Linux for most of my works. But I still have the Ubuntu Studio and the KDE Neon. I just don't want to have like issues while I'm working. So again, we will have our preparation for the Ubuntu Studio 25.04, which is not an LTS, and I'll just gonna make it like the live boot, not the installed. So let me see, let's wait. this is also one of the struggles that Ubuntu users usually notice. It is very sluggish compared to other distros like the big Linux. It is so easy, so fast. But now, oh no, Ubuntu has really some problems. Let's just gonna pre-install this one, and of course we're gonna try it out so that it will be like easy and no installation needed. And I just gonna let you see what is the first thing that you see in this version 25.04, not an LTS, but that's just only like until January 26. Yeah. So okay, so this is the desktop user interface that they have. They don't have any welcome page or welcome app. So they have the upper dock right here, which is the menu right here. Yeah, this is the menu. And they have everything, like from the web browser to the audio compiler, plus the OBS for the streaming recording, Krita for digital printing, GNU image manipulator program or GIMP for the image editor, of course the Kdenlive for the video editor. For the camera we have the Digicam with a K. For the light table and dark room we have the dark table. And of course the last one is the system settings. On the other end, right here on the right side, we have the notification area. As you can see, we have the time and date plus the network and all those stuff right here, the volume, the keyboards and all those stuff. And this is their desktop wallpaper and nothing else right here. So let's right click this one and let's see if we have some wallpapers right here. This is now the appearance. So their appearance is actually, you could like manage all those stuff right here from the Banawe rice terraces in the Philippines. Yes, that is in the Philippines. What is this? The bee. Okay. Sunrise. Where's the sunrise? There's no sunrise. There is also some other wallpaper. They have the default here at the same time. So let's just stick into the Banawe rice terraces. So you could also go to the settings if you wanted to for more appearance settings. As you can see, we have double click or single click for opening some files or folder. We also have the dark and the light, but I prefer the dark mode. It is much pleasant to the eyes. And we have the global themes right here. Other appearance right here on the style on the bottom, near the bottom, but not too much, just in the mid bottom. We have the wallpaper right here. Again, we have the color and themes right here. So you have all those stuff to change, like even the cursor. You also have the appearance for your text font. So if you want to make it bigger or just just okay for you. You also have the hinting right here, slight. Okay, slight. And we have some update. Okay, never mind the update. Okay, so there you have it. That is their appearance and wallpaper. So let me see if what are those default apps. So they have audio right here, utilities, effects, instrument, MIDI, mixer, and all of those stuff. Even your Audacity for your audio editing. The Ardour is actually for compiling your music instruments. If you are a musician, you could use this one. LMMS, of course, there have the different types of audio, and they also have the graphic designs like the, let me see, the dark table right here, the Gwen viewer. Even for graphics designing animation, you use the Blender. There's a lot of videos and animation using the Blender. They're using actually Linux apps, to be exact. They also use GIMP sometimes because too much expensive nowadays, the Photoshop. And the preferred Photoshop that I have is actually Krita, and the other one is actually the Photopea. So you have also the draw right here, so you can use the pencil 2D Pico Pixel at the same time right here for your video production. Of course, again, we have Blender. We also have Kdenlive for video editing, non-linear. OBS for your screen recording and streaming. And let me see, for development, you have Git. Yes, Git actually is a Linux compiler, but of course, Windows and Mac are now using the Git for their apps, which means they are using some sort of Linux application nowadays. It is not different compared to way back then, like in the early 2000s, that they are not like the same. But now, even the interface is almost the same. Even the Windows, they were like copying the Linux or the Mac, and Mac also refining it. Yeah. For office need, you have the LibreOffice. So there you have it. You have all those choices. Okay, let me move to the App Center. Where is the App Center? Oh, there it is. We have the Discover. So the Discover is a App Center that you could like install and look for some other software. But of course, this is not a updated, so I need to update this one. But no, it's too okay. I think I could not. So if you want to look for your apps, just go right here on the search bar. To update your system, you just click update right here and it will update. It will ask you for the authentication, but I don't have any password or username. I already tried to look for the password, but in all the password that I saw and try, no, nothing works. So I think they need to like look into this one. This is a bummer. I was so frustrated last time, so I just cut the video. So let me close that one, cancel it, and cancel again. You see, it won't let me cancel everything. Oh my gosh. Okay, see, that's the thing. It keeps asking for the password, but all the password that I saw in the website, it is not working. So but of course, I have the 24.04 in my other laptop, so I'm using that one. But the 25.04, it is not an LTS, and it has a lot of problems OMG. Okay. I won't talk too much about that one. If you're asking me for the Ubuntu Studio 25.04, not an LTS by the way, the installation is okay, but you have to think about if you really wanted to, because you have to like reinstall the LTS. This is the problem of Ubuntu. You need to have like reinstallation of a new operating system every time if there is a new version, an LTS. It feels like Windows inverted, because supposed to be it will be right here on the bottom. Oops, okay. Supposed to be in the bottom right here. So it will be like that. See, it's like Windows, but of course the default is up there on the top. It feels like Windows, but it is highly customizable. Ordinary or advanced user experience, for me it is for the content creators. Yes. And if you're asking me how to shut down, just go right here and then power sessions right here, and you have the shutdown right here on the bottom. If you have some question, feel free to ask me. Write it in the comments down below. This is Blair for the OS Ubuntu Studio 25.04, not an LTS. Bye for now, and see you in the next episode of OS operating system. Bye for now, and see you in the next adventure. Ciao. Now let's click shutdown. Shutdown.